Well, challah, first of all and foremost, is bread. It's the bread, the braided bread that people who are Jewish will eat on the Friday night dinner and on Shabbat lunch. And challah is traditionally braided because it symbolizes the loaves that were in the temple of old in Jerusalem. And there were always 12 loaves every week, 12 fresh loaves that were brought, and they lasted and stayed fresh an entire week. And we bake challah now to remember that, and we make braided challah, traditionally 6 braided challahs and 2 of them, and that equals 12, so that symbolizes the 12 loaves in the temple. And challah is the idea of sustenance, and it's the idea of bringing people together, this idea that the loaves are braided, they're intertwined. So we'll make the blessing. Here it goes. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu lahafresh es hachallah.
Amen.
So what I did was I just made, it's a custom to separate a piece of dough and make a blessing, because whenever we have something of our own, we always want to share with others. And it's actually an ancient custom because during the time of the temple of old, anyone who made bread had to give some to the Kohen, the people who were working in the temple. And because they didn't have a job of their own, all they did was work in the temple, so they didn't have their own land to farm or any kind of way to make a living. So anyone who made bread had to make a loaf for the Kohen, the priest in the temple. So now we don't have the temple, but we still remember what we used to do, so that way we always are in that habit of giving it and knowing whatever you have, you always need to take off a piece for others, no matter what.
There's a spiritual idea around challah that it's not just sustaining us physically, but it's connecting us with all of the Jews all over the world who are eating it. So that's quite spiritual.
And so we remember that. We remember that the faith in God, that we had faith that the manna from heaven would sustain us. And so we have that faith as well. Every Friday night, we say that everything really comes from God, and we're all blessed. And of course, being blessed, we always want to share that with others.